Okay, so we want to make the buttons here work. So first thing I'm going to do is make the main menu button work. That's nice and straightforward. So I'm going to go to my scripts folder. I'm going to create a C# script called level select menu, and I'm going to attach that to my canvas here once it does its first compilation. If it takes a second or two. Oh, sometimes it wants to do lots of stuff. There we go. Let's pop that in here. We're going to create a public string here called level to, or actually we'll just call this main menu, because this is what we're going to use to load to the main menu. And I'm going to, by default, because I know my main menu is called main space menu, I'm going to call it that. To use my scene management, I need to use Unity engine scene management. One thing I don't think I've mentioned prior, but just something to be aware of, is that when you type the name of the level you want to load to, it's really important that if there's any spaces, you include the spaces, and if there's any capitalization, all the capitalization has to match exactly what you have written as the name of your scene. If it's capitalized slightly differently, it won't know how to find the right scene. So we're going to then remove the start and update because we don't need those, but we're going to add a public void go to main menu, like so. Oops, let's try this again. There we go, like so. And then we'll say scene manager dot load scene, and the scene we want to load is the main menu. So this is what should happen when we press the main menu button. So let's let this compile and tell the main menu button to do that. So in here we're going to add a little slot, put the canvas in there, level select menu, go to main menu. Okay, perfect. So that'll work for our main menu. We just click on it, do that, it takes us back out to the main menu here. The next thing we want to do is make our level select button work, and we're going to attach a script to the button itself that will allow us to actually load into whatever scene we need to load to. And the reason we do that is because we're going to have a whole bunch of these buttons that will load us into various different levels. So let's create another script, create a C# script called level select button, and we're going to attach that to that object, obviously. So let's scroll down, pull it over there, and then let's open this up. And obviously this is going to need to load us into the level. So public string level to load. And again, this is going to obviously need to pull in the using Unity engine scene management. And then we don't need the update, but we do need the start. We'll be using the start a little bit later to determine which stars we should show. So for now, we're going to set up the references to those stars we added to the button. So public game object star 1, star 2, and star 3, like so. And we're going to add the function public void load level, which of course will then call the scene manager dot load scene level to load. Okay, so we've now got it in this will work now to load us into the levels. We'll take a look at how to set up the stars working in just a little bit, but for now we just want to make sure that this whole system works for us. So let's go back in here, let that compile, and we're going to set these things up. So this is going to load to level 1, the star. So we've got star 1, star 2, and star 3. So this is the basics of this script. Now that we've added this component to it and we've hooked up the stars, we want to make sure that we apply that change we made to the prefabs. So we're going to go up to the top, go to overrides, and apply all changes. So now the prefab that we have for the level select button has that attached, and by default it'll go to level 1, but that's perfectly fine. But now that we have that in place, we can duplicate this. I'm going to drag this over here, and I'm going to actually rename this one to go to be L1, just so I have a way of distinguishing it, and this one will be L2, So we know we're going to level 2 with this one, and we'll change the text here to say 2, so now we know that this will take us to level 2. So now, just as a way to play through what we have, we can go to our main menu, we can start. Oh, our main menu still our main menu still loads into the wrong scene, so we need this to load to level select, obviously. One thing I'm also going to do is those gems falling down. If we highlight all of those and turn on pre-warm, what that means is rather than starting and having the gems fall in, when you start the game, they'll be already set up halfway through their particle effect. So now I can start and I can go to level 1. Nope, because I didn't set up the button to do anything. Let's go to our prefab for the level select button. We'll open that up. And I need to go to my on click. I'm going to pull in the level select button components into there. I can go level select button and load level. There we go. Now it'll work perfectly. So we start, we click on 1, it'll take us into our first level and we can play away. But if we do it again and go to 2, we didn't do one important thing. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. I'm getting too excited about having this stuff working nicely. We need to make sure that we set that this will load to level 2 in our game. So now if I click 2, there we go. Now we're into this scene and we can start playing this and start doing other fun things along the way. So perfect. That's the basics of our level system working nicely.